Okay, so here we are with Unit 3, Part 1. This is an angles video mostly. We're going to be looking at different angle facts that you need to know for the exam. So, first question is looking simply at angles on a straight line. So you know that angles together that make a straight line altogether, so you can see that this is a straight line altogether like that. These two angles, because they make a straight line, must add up to 180. So to find the size of angle X, we're going to do 180 take away 34, which is 146 degrees. Alright, so this is beginning to use that angle fact combined with another angle fact, angles in a triangle also add up to 180, to be able to work out the size of angle X here. So, first thing, you're not going to be able to work out angle X in one step. This would be worth a few marks on the exam. We can work out the size of this angle straight away because it makes a straight line with 142. Those two angles together make a straight line. So we're going to do 180 take away 142, which is 38. So this angle here is 38. Now we can use the triangle. So inside the triangle, all three angles have to add up to 180. That's going to let us work out this angle. So we're going to do 78 plus 38. I'm going to do that as a column addition. So 8 add 8 is 16, 7 add 3 is 10, add the 1. So that's 116. And then I need to take that away from 180. So 180 take away 116 is 64 degrees. So this angle here is 64. And now we're able to use the angles on a straight line. So this angle plus the 64 must make 180. So if we do 180 take away 64, which is 116, we are left with the size of angle X. When you're doing this sort of question, it's really important to show you're working out, and I often find it very useful to put answers that you've found midway through a question back onto the diagram so that you can show the examiner which angle you've found. It saves you having to kind of create labels. Okay, so this question looks very similar. However, you're only given the angle outside the triangle. So we're going to start in the same way we did last time. We're going to do 180 take away 144, which is 36. So we find that this angle is 36. Now, these little dashes tell us that these two sides are the same length. So if these two sides are the same length, these two angles must be the same size. So this angle here is also 36. And now we can do 36 add 36 is 72. 180 take away 72 is 108. Now that seems very, very, very strange. But it is correct. So what we're actually saying, 180 take away 72 is 108. So what we're actually saying is that this angle here must be 108. Now I'll slow down because that didn't seem right. My brain looked at this question and that number didn't seem right because 108 is a really big angle and this answer doesn't seem to fit the size of the angle we've got, but it must be correct, okay? And with all of these questions, the diagrams are not drawn to scale. So don't be put off if your answer doesn't seem right. Just check you're working out carefully and see if what you're writing down is correct. And actually, this is true, because if you took a triangle with an angle of 36, the angle would be like that. The other angle of 36 would actually look like that. And this angle here would be 108. And this diagram is just drawn really, really badly for the numbers that we've been given. So that's okay. And then we can do X is 180 take away 108, which is 72. Again, it doesn't seem right because 72 is an acute angle and the angle X is drawn as an obtuse angle, but it is possible because these questions are never drawn to scale. Okay, question 5. We'll move on to some parallel lines. You can see the arrows marking that these two lines are parallel. So X, okay, if I draw in the angle surrounding x and the angle that I've been given, I can see that x is the same and it's f angles. I've drawn an f around them. Now, if you remember, CIA is FUZ. Okay? So f angles must be the one beginning with C. So the reason here is that they are corresponding. Okay? Just to go through the other words, U angles are called co-interior and Z angles are called alternate. So let's have a look at this one. So what we've got here is a similar sort of question. We're mixing together the angles on parallel lines and straight lines. So we'll start with this 62. Now, I'm going to make it the same as this angle here. I've drawn an F in. So this angle here must be 62 because it's corresponding. Also, this angle here must be the same as this angle here because they are vertically opposite. So this angle here is 34, and then I've got a triangle to work with. 62 plus 34 is 96. 180 take away the 96 is 84. So that's how big x is 84. Because I've just used a triangle. It's a terrible drawing over the diagram, but I've used that triangle to work out the size of angle x. Okay, and the last question here is a quick bearings reminder because they are basically just parallel lines. So I'm told the bearing of B from A is 65, 065. So what that means is if I start from A and I'm travelling to B, I travel on an angle of 65. Now that angle is always measured from a north line. So this angle here is 65. Okay, and I now want to work out the bearing of A from B, so the reverse bearing. Now, you can't just do that straight away because the angle needs to be measured clockwise. That's the rule about bearings. You always give them as 3 digits. You always measure them clockwise. You always start at a north line. But because these north lines are parallel, what you're able to do is work out what this angle is using co-interior angles. So 180 take away 65 is 115. So this angle is 115, and then take that away from 360 to get the bearing, because obviously 115 is measuring it anti-clockwise, and I want to measure it clockwise. So if we borrow and do the same again, 5, 4, 2, the reverse bearing must be 2, 4, 5. Okay, so here's a few questions for you to practice. Have a go at them, and then bring them in if you're not sure about anything. I'll pop the answers up in just a minute. And here is the answer slide. Hope this has been useful. Come and let us know if anything doesn't make sense or if I've made a little mistake somewhere. And if any of these have seemed a little bit too tricky, put a comment and I will go through it again in class or at lunchtime or something with you. Okay, good luck.